Welcome. So nice to have you with me here in this session today. Fasting space. Going to be doing some diving in on a meditation practice and how it can unlock our fasting space, especially if you're having any type of struggle. Here's the cascade that I was seeing. We're on a weight loss path, moving toward it. It's usually not smooth sailing. It's not like a straight road, A to B, easy street. We wish it was. We're doing everything we can to make the path as straight as possible, but we face a barrier on a weight loss path. And I like to say a fasting space can help to smooth that out a bit. Many win-wins where we can open up some space, have a calm and thoughtful process, less to do, help us just to flow through a space without struggling. Fasting, the type of process that can help us diminish hunger. This is the paradox of fasting. Diminish the hunger over time because the body is working on patterns. When we set new patterns that aren't so frequently, we're not getting hungry so frequently, we can bring everything in its place. So fasting can help unlock weight loss, but then fasting has barriers, doesn't it? Many barriers to it. From hunger and social pressure, our habits, patterns, thinking. So we need an unlock to that, and meditation can be an unlock to that, because meditation is the mirror of fasting in the mind. We have open space in the body, open space in the mind, place to contemplate and deal with difficult emotions. That's a meditation space. But surprise, there can be barriers to that. Isn't this the cycle of life, right? There are everything of value has a barrier or a struggle to attain it or experience it. So I'm going to try to give you an unlock to a meditation space today. We're going to try to feed this cascade forward. Overcome one barrier that helps us overcome another and another, so that this can cascade through our life in a virtuous cycle of positivity. Love it. I want to show you this quote to center our thinking, and then I'm going to give you a really interesting, I think, insightful thought from this book that we are almost done with. The Mountain Is You. It's been like a mountain climbing journey going through it. I think we started, January 2nd. We launched the new year, a journey, and here we are into the summer. We've done a lot of other stuff too, but I think you're gonna like that. Check out this quote. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Viktor Frankl, who I think was a psychologist, early American psychologist. Meditation space, helping us to build some strength in between those two things, stimulus and response. That is a tricky space, but I really agree with this. This is the place where the power is. The power to get in between the automatic thinking and the things that are happening so that we can make a different decision. How many times have you been in a space, you have a certain intention, but then that automatic thinking takes over and all of a sudden we're doing something we didn't really want, and how did it happen? And it happened so fast. Meditation space is a powerful space to train the body in a mental strength that can help us take our conscious thought, the thing we really want to see manifested in the world, and give us the mental fortitude and the strength to actually bring it into our life. We did the session the other day, make fasting a part of you, okay? But how do you do it, right? Say, sounds good. How do we have the mental strength and stamina to do it? Okay? Train the mind and train the thinking. Open up the space between stimulus and response and see that there is strength there. And like we said yesterday, I think that the human will can get into that space. And if there's a space for willpower, it's the glue between these things. It's like we try to use it as little as possible, but when we need it, it is there for us and we can find strength in it. And I believe that a meditation space can be part of training and building that, helping us really to be good with ourselves right here in the present moment, in here, in the heart. But it's not flashy. It's not something you can sell on an infomercial, not something you can sell at all, really. Maybe someone can sell you a meditation retreat, thoughtful people to come around you, but you're going to do the same thing that you can do right in your own house. Here I put on a tiny amount of background music, just something to the mind can grab onto a little bit. I like to say you can do a fasting with or without some kind of music, just like we can do a session with or without it. I like to think sometimes of music as like a liquid. It's like sonic liquid, and it can dissolve some emotions in it. Have you ever had that feeling that you got some emotion and some sort of music just helps to bring the emotional level into a calmer space? Start to think about that space. Space, just as a word, this is a big thing for this. I call this fasting space. Like a space, fasting space. I think of our quote, the space between stimulus and response. Think about that in the fasting space between our desire to eat something and when we actually eat something. There's a space there, right? And in that space, let's get it exactly right. In that space is our power to choose our response, and in our response is our growth, our freedom. How we grow in a practice, a relationship with food where we're not controlled by it, where we are in control of it, when we're flowing through it comfortably. Listen to how Brianna Weist describes a meditation process, and this might be something different. This isn't necessarily, I don't know if I've heard it described this way. I'm not any expert, okay? No expert in meditation, novice practitioner, but I see great value in it. I've had great value in it personally. I've really, really valued this connection between the meditation space in the mind, the fasting space in the body. They title this section, and just think about everything we've been through in the book. And then this is the type of space that we're starting to get to. After all of that, we're starting to get to this type of place, which to me is very fascinating. Stop meditating to feel calm. Start meditating to just feel. Not how we normally think about it, I say. Don't we think of meditation? I know I do, at least a lot of times, is like, aren't we looking for a space of contentment to feel some amount of peace in our life, to find a place where the mental chatter and the chaotic waves of experience are just calmed down a little bit, where we can take a deep breath and feel calmer. I know I do. I do practice meditation to feel calm, to get into this space, like the quote, to try to lengthen out the space between stimulus and response so that we can choose the path that is our best representation instead of a knee-jerk reaction. Maybe not reaching out in anger when we might instantly be angry, but having the space to be in control of it. Same mirror with any type of difficult emotion that we have, like an emotional relationship that we have with food that we're trying to improve or gain mastery over. Stop meditating to feel calm. Start meditation just to feel. Now this is inverting it, which I love doing. We did some talks back in the fall, financial sort of analogies. Brought in the quote from Charlie Munger, always invert, right? See things from the other side. Meditation not about numbing out. Not about escaping anything. That I do agree with. I describe it a lot as a space to let the emotions out. And here, this is something that is really adding to my understanding of it. To actually have the space to feel it. I think sometimes I've even had the thought like, oh, meditation is a space where we let the feelings out so we don't have to feel them, you know? And maybe there's a part of that. How do you get an emotion out if there's something deep and difficult that is trapped, that is driving stress, trauma, anger? Okay, a space to let it out. But what does that feel like practically to let it out? Don't we have to feel it out? So meditation space could be a difficult space, and it is, right? There's a barrier. I know barriers that I face are like feeling anxious and jittery, like I have to do something. And I think what I've started to really see is like, oh, that's a lot of self-judgment that is coming in there. Like you feel driven, like I have so many things to do, can't just be sitting around. And so, but all kinds of judgment and all kinds of things. Of fasting, just a space to let that open up. And when we actually don't run away from it, see, that takes courage. Don't run away from the feeling, lean into it, is actually the path of feeling our way through it. And then I know I have experienced that. It's like you felt it, and then as you feel through it, that feeling goes. It's like so many emotions can be like that, anger and sadness and these things, and maybe it isn't quickly as we would want. But hunger is certainly in the mix of that. It's an emotion, right? Hunger comes in a wave, it's hormonally controlled, it rises, it crests like a wave, and it will diminish over time. She says, if you sit down for a 10-minute session and you try to force yourself to be relaxed and light, you're effectively doing the exact same type of suppression that likely gave you the need to meditate in the first place. Isn't that interesting? It's like we keep everything bottled up. We end up cramming all this stuff down in a place so we don't have to have it in our conscious experience. And maybe that was right to do at the time. We can have compassion for ourselves of how we came to this place. We're all just trying to get through the day, do our best, right? But now when we're in a space, we're saying, I have the space, here I'm taking 10 minutes. I don't have anywhere to be. And now we can feel it. They say instead, the point of meditation is to sit idly as you experience all those feelings come up. Could be the rage, the fear, the sadness, the chatter of the mind. And in spite of how alluring or triggering it may be, you learn to stay still and not respond to it. That's like the quote. We're having the stimulus here in the meditation space. The emotion has come. The anxiety is there. The thought that I cannot stand this and I need to be doing something else. Learn to stay still. That's strengthening that muscle between stimulus and response. The stimulus is get up and go do something else. Get back on the phone, get back on the social media, get back on anything else. Do anything except sitting here with myself in the present moment. Go get something to eat. Wouldn't it be nice? Yes, it would. Yes, it would. But not respond. That's meditation. And that's meditation as a mirror for life. That's life as a meditation about building the mental strength between the stimulus and the response. You learn to allow these thoughts and feelings to come up and then pass by virtue of your not reacting to them. And then they end this very poignantly. This takes practice. Oh yes. It most certainly does. Has that been your experience? Oh yes, it takes practice for sure. Feeling our way through life takes practice, and I've been thinking very much about this. I think a lot of times we spend so much time trying to think our way through life, and we can get stuck up in the mind. This is part of the value of the meditation space. The mental chatter, like they describe, everything trapped here. And it's like when it overflows, we might trap it down here. And meditation space, especially about clear that out of the mind. And as we let that clear out, maybe that's how we get down into the stuff that we've stored down here. But I think it's an opportunity too to really think about the mind-body connection and to realize we are mind, we are body. It's the same thing somehow. We don't necessarily experience it that way always. I really love this idea of just feel. And to me, part of that is from the mind, like telling the mind, hey, it's okay for you to take a break here, and let's actually lean into the body a bit. Can we actually feel our way through some of our difficulty in a better way than just trying to reason or think our way there all the time? That's a practice that we can build too. We have language to describe that, like going with our gut, leading with the heart. That actually, I think these are more real than we think about with just our analogies or using them as a metaphor. Maybe it's real, Maybe we really do lead with the heart instead of the mind for a while. Maybe a meditation space can get you into that. Maybe going with the gut is more real than we think. Given, I guess, that there's more tiny little neurons in the gut than the brain. It's fascinating to think how much actually emotional processing and thinking happens. I don't know. So I thought in this session, as we're talking it out, I thought I'd just give us a tiny little opportunity together here in this moment, whenever you're watching this, if you're here on the replay, if you're here with me live, just to practice it a little bit together. I'm going to put a tiny note for people up on the screen, and I'm going to open up a tiny little space for myself just to do some thinking and actually do this process and see, this would be my encouragement to you. We take a little bit of space. What comes into it? What emotion is there? Just to sit with it for a few moments. right, here we got a little note. As I was thinking through this, I've got the gentle music going, and I was thinking, well, sometimes in a meditation space, I try to shut all that off. And sometimes I leave it on. So I leave it up to you. If the meditation space feels gentle on the mind and the spirit, and it helps to settle a few emotional waves a bit, leave that on. And I give you full discretion, hit the mute. You say, I want to take that melancholy little trumpet out of there, and I want to just embrace the silence wherever I am. You hit the mute, and I'll give you a wave when we come back. But give this gift to yourself for just a few moments. And I'll let you know. We'll share our reflections together. Just a brief moment in our day where you can take a space like that, bring it in, and give some space to allow whatever it is that the body wants to release, that the mind wants to release. Feel free to share what thoughts came into that type of space for you. To me, that's the type of space that can help us flow that whole chain backwards. The idea that we can just feel something. There's no pressure to have to do anything else. You don't, if it's a barrier to say, oh, I can't calm my mind, hey, that's okay, right? See, there's the barrier right at the start. You say, oh, I'm not any good at a meditation. Okay. A meditation, yes, maybe there can be some skill to it, but there's no great practice other than just being that I see. That emotion's going to come in and it's okay to feel it. And then that's what it is. And that we can accept that. And so I hope that that is a process that can help that barrier to be diminished for you. Meditation does not require some great intellectual ability. It's probably the opposite. It doesn't require tons of time to start. We think what the reflection was yesterday and getting into a deep space. What does it mean to even be a human being? That, like meditation space, giving us an opportunity to just rest in that human mind, our thought, give us an experience that can help to power that on. And as we think about that cascade that we're trying to build, overcoming our barrier to a meditation space so that we can unlock the emotional space and the barriers in other areas of our life. What is most important to you right now? I flow it into the fasting space, but maybe for you it's something else, honestly. You say, I've got issues with relationships that I want to mend and solve problems. I got things at work. It's like any domain in our life, a meditation space going to help us flow to it in the best way that our whole being can come up with between body and mind and spirit to flow into it. And all these things flow together. And so you say, you know, some weight issue that I have or some blood sugar process, or I'm trying to be healthier so I don't develop some process. Sometimes we can't, you know, I like the idea, head right at something, that's courageous, okay, but sometimes I love that picture I showed once of Horseshoe Bend. It's like that river, it flows all the way around the canyon and gets back on the other side almost to where it started and then goes. You know, sometimes meditation showing us the circuitous path, like, hey, we actually got to go over here and focus on this, and that's going to be the thing that unlocks and helps us to flow back around. Meditation much more like that than just a simple straight shot. But however we get there, you know, I say no rush. The big thing that I'm trying to do on this channel, help people to see. Fasting space can be approached very thoughtfully, very calmly and gently. I want a fasting process as part of a health thing to be the last health process that you need. So many people chasing thousands of supplements, so many gadgets, the next thing. It's like we're always looking for the next thing. I just tell you, if you're looking for something very, very deep and powerful in a weight loss space, a fasting space is as deep as you will ever find. It is an ancient practice, practiced by people for millennia across every different cultural context for many different reasons. It has a superficial layer where you can, just like meditation, we're saying a superficial layer, just feel. Fasting space, just open up a little bit of space, nothing else required. Take a deep breath, and then deeper experience to go. That fasting process can be itself a big unlock on our weight journey. but maybe we got to get way upstream. And this is what I'm trying to show you. Take the pressure off, go way upstream. Maybe meditation is the place to start. Straighten out some thinking and emotions. Use that space to unlock barriers in our life, the stress and difficulty that is creating the barriers. Maybe some sort of unhealthy relationship with foods. We're trying to get to the very, very root of everything and reset the whole process. Because what I want for people, I never want anybody white-knuckling and stressing through a fasting space and gritting it out and even like, oh, just hating it. So I've talked to people doing things like that. Say, that is not the way. That is not the way. There is a line where we say, I'm a human being and I am strong and I can do something difficult. And I'm not saying that every fasting experience has to be like floating on a cloud somewhere. You can move through a difficulty. Sometimes overcoming a barrier is leaning into that human will and doing it, okay? But always the mindset in that sort of space is one of curiosity and strength, and a voluntary choice that is made out of love and openness and kindness toward the body, never punishing it. We do not punish our way to health, we nurture our health. And just like lifting a weight, right? You're trying to get stronger and you can put some human intensity into it and that can make the body stronger, but we're choosing to do that. Just like we choose a fasting space, but never forcing it. This is a big unlock in life. To try to take everything in our life and look at it that way. To find that line. Do you see that we're balancing right on a fine line between our human intensity and pushing and striving for something, and also being relaxed and finding a flow and not being so stuck in a process that we're, banging our head against the wall, when if we just flow a little bit to the side, we find the seam, and move through in a more gentle way. That is the unlock as far as I can see. Let me know your thoughts. Love to hear your perspectives. I hope this thinking is helpful in your day. Share feedback and reflections. Love to hear your thoughts. I hope you are doing well. I hope you have a beautiful day. And I will look forward to being back with you again soon. Have a good one.